Okay, Mekovanen everybody, and welcome to another showcase video. Barnes & Noble's has their 50% off Criterion sale, which started yesterday on the 4th, and I thought that this would be a good chance to showcase my Criterion collection. And I don't have much, compared to lots of other people, but I thought that I would still showcase what I have. Even on a sale they can be kind of expensive, they're 50% off, so $20. And so I don't want it to be too long, and I'm able to access them very easily because they're just right over there on the shelf. So that's why I can do this. And I think what I'll do is maybe pull it shelf by shelf, so I'll like pause it whenever I go to another shelf, something like that. And maybe I'll even talk about which ones I recommend and which ones I would like to get for this sale. Okay, so I'll start with this one. Is a DVD. It's a box set. This one is double set of Yojimbo and Sanjiro. I'm not going to bother reading the numbers or anything. Okay. And this next one is Blue is the Warmest Color. This one stars Lea Seydoux and Adele Exarchopoulos. Like Lea Seydoux, maybe a lot of you recognize her from, like James Bond and the David Cronenberg film, Crimes of the Future. She was in a Beauty and the Beast live-action film. This one is about, these two are lesbians, and, it's just about their, their romance. This one you can get cheap. I like this one. There's, a lot of nudity in this one, and, just be prepared for, I think there's a, there's a scene that lasts maybe about 10 minutes, so be prepared for that. An intimate moment with these two, let's say. And this is just a nice story. It's been a while since I've seen this one, but I do recommend this one. It's in French, and okay, and okay, this one, this is a Carl Dreyer silent film, Vampire. This is a box set. Box set edition. Okay. Diabolique. I've seen this one, and or did I see it? Yeah, I did see this one, but I don't remember much. I remember the, because I also saw the Sharon Stone, version, but I've seen both. I think, one of the parts I remember was the two girls, they're, one girl is, the man, I think, is treating her badly. I think maybe one was a teacher, and the friend and the woman that is being treated badly, they plot to kill the man. Was it the husband? It's been such a long time. and I remember them when moving out the body, they put it in, I think, a basket, and they were carrying the basket out. I remember that scene. And this one, the black and white one. Okay, this one is Fritz Lang's M, which stars Peter Lorre. I highly recommend this one. This is a film noir, like mystery thriller, you know, classic noir. And I think this one has an interview conducted by William Friedkin. I'm not too sure though. Was it this? I want to say it's this one, but maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I can't remember. It's been a while. Oh, here we are. Conversation with Fritz Lang, a 50-minute film by William Friedkin. So that's, you know, cool that they have that in here. It's called M because someone put an M on his back, so that's how they can identify the killer, played by Peter Lorre. This is a documentary on the Titanic, Night to Remember. This is another one I can highly recommend. The Lady Vanishes. This is Alfred Hitchcock film, quite good, and everything. Well, it's basically about this woman who, I think a pot or something fell on her head. First she's talking to some woman, and I think a pot or something fell on her head, and, you know, and then she got on the train, and I think she started looking for that woman. It's a younger woman. I was talking to an older woman, and she can't find her, and she's panicking and you know, telling the authorities on the train about this woman, and no one has any records on her ever coming on board the train. And this is the one where is it this one? Yeah. It culminates, you know, everything builds up to some finale of a shootout on the train. The train is stopped, and there are guys, you know, the bad guys, and they're, you know, they're shooting. There's a shootout, you know, at the end of this, and I thought it's quite good. Okay. What I wanted to say with that Yojimbo, the first one I showed, I think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's a rabbit named Yosagi Yojimbo, and I think that rabbit, that mutant rabbit, is based off of that character. Okay, so this next one is Steve McQueen and The Blob. This was a good one also, although, you know, you watch this now, you might find that the teenagers look quite a bit older to be a teenager. You know, I mean, just Steve McQueen is supposed to be a teenager, but look at him. You know, and the same goes for, you know, all of these so-called teens in here. But, you know, it's a very good one. I like that. Another one that I recommend is The Passion of Joan of Arc. This is a Carl Dreyer one. Maria Falconetti, I think, is her name. Yeah, I think that's her name. I think her name is Maria Falconetti, something like that. There's a bloodletting scene in here which was actually real, you know, because I believe it was the director who wanted, you know, authenticity, or to make everything look authentic. So, and the reason why they were trying to get her blood. I guess they wanted to somehow check for it to see if she's like possessed or something like that. I don't know how they intended to do that, but don't expect any action in this one. This is just the trial of it, and it's a silent film, and the performance is outstanding, especially her. Everything is emoted with the eyes and stuff like that, because there's no speaking, so they have to emote everything. And to some folks it might seem kind of unrealistic, but that's product of its time, and that's how it was with these silent films. But yeah, I highly recommend this one. Very, very good one. Oh, another one I highly recommend, Charade. This one is very well, it's I don't think there's a is it Hitchcockian? I don't think it's a Hitchcockian film. It is not, but it's almost like, or is it? It's almost like a cross between a Hitchcockian film and a James Bond film, but a little bit more comical. We have Audrey Hepburn in here, Cary Grant, and George Kennedy. I think he's the henchman. I think I saw his name on here, and I remember seeing him here. James Coburn. I think George Kennedy is in this one. Was it this film? No, it's another film I'm thinking of. But yeah, this one I highly recommend. It's like I said, it's like a cross between like a Hitchcockian film and a James Bond film, and it has like witty, comical dialogue and stuff, and good chemistry between Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn. So I recommend that one as well. Okay. Next we have John Hughes film, The Breakfast Club, the beautiful Molly Ringwald. We have Amelia Estevez, Judd Nelson. Is that not C. Thomas Howell, but something Hall? I don't know. I can't remember now all the other people, but Michael or Ellen or Ellie Shetty. Yeah, Amelia Estevez, like I said. Coming of age film where this group has to spend detention together. Here we have a Jack Nicholson film, 5 Easy Pieces. My brother recommended this one to me. He said it's quite good. Karen Black, yeah, that's who the girl is in here. And I think it's something about, he plays the piano, as you can see there, and I think it's like his family isn't proud of him or something like that, and he has to try to, prove himself to them or something like that. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but he's like a shiftless 30-something oil rigger, former piano prodigy, but yeah. Okay. This one is animated one, or rather it's like claymation. Fantastic Mr. Fox. We have the voices of George Clooney. Oh, here, Meryl Streep, Jason Schwartzman. I saw this before, but I couldn't even explain what I saw. I mean, I understood it at the time, but just for some reason it didn't really stick with me, but I did like this one. Yes, very well done. Okay. Okay, let me pause it again. Okay, so I have a couple of Chaplin films here too, and here's War of the Worlds, directed by Byron Haskell. It's an H.G. Wells, based off his book, and the radio show that caused a panic back in the day. Byron Haskin is his name, and then I have the other one that he directed that goes along very well with this one, which is Robinson Crusoe Goes to Mars, but I'll get to that. I do recommend this one, and this one actually spawned a television series in the late 80s. I want to say like 88, 89. I like that one, but this is quite good. The alien ships have a very unique design and look to them. And the first Chaplin film here is The Circus. And the other one here is Limelight. If you don't know yet, I'm a Chaplin fan. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting to some really great ones. Okay, here's some horror comedy film, I think, House. I've not seen it yet, but it's Japanese. Okay. Yeah. I'll just do that. Alright. Yes, this one is an Ang Lee film. Yeah, same Ang Lee who did The Hulk. This is Ride with the Devil, Tobey Maguire, Jewel, Skeet Ulrich, I think Mark Ruffalo. It's an all-star cast, really. This is a great Western. The black dude, tell me his name. Jeffrey Wright. His name is Jeffrey Wright. Fantastic actor. He is I believe he was freed. He's a free slave. He was either a free slave or he's like on the verge of being free. And this is I believe it's like north and south. It's been a while, but I absolutely love this one. Skeet Ulrich and Tobey Maguire, they're like really good friends, and Tobey Maguire marries Jewel marries Skeet Ulrich, but then I'm not going to say any more because it's kind of like a spoiler. And it's a great kind of, and it's not really a Western, but I guess it has like it's not a Western, but it has maybe a Western kind of feel to it. And all I'll say is, I'm not one for goodbyes, but I think I'll just tip my hat and be on my way, and then, Tobey Maguire holding up his hand, takes off his hat, and just the horse, kind of rears up, and he gallops away, and that just, this is a great film, okay? That's all I'm going to say. Highly recommend this one. It might be considered a slow burn. Oh, it stars Jonathan Rhys Meyers in here, too. Well, yeah, Jonathan Rhys Meyers. Jim Caviezel. Yeah, look at that. See, all these great, fantastic actors in here. Well, why would I do that, Dutchie? Of course I'm going back. It's my home, Dutchie. Yeah. No, another very good one. Bigger Than Life. Was that Cary Grant also? I can't remember. Oh, James Mason. I sometimes get that, James Mason from 20,000 League. Bigger Than Life, which I think came out around the time of Father Knows Best, but I believe the father is suffering from headaches or something, and he takes this experimental drug, and he becomes like abusive to his family. I guess by today's standards, it's maybe not so bad. It's kind of tame compared to now, but it's still bad, and especially for its time, you know. But I do, you know, recommend Bigger Than Life. It's a good one. Who's the woman? Is the woman Shelley Duvall or someone? I don't know, but not Shelley. Shelley Winters. Could it be? I don't think it is. I don't think it's Shelley. I get confused sometimes with these old actors and actresses. Roman Polanski's Repulsion. Catherine Deneuve, French. And is it I think it's a French. No, it's not French. Catherine Deneuve is French. But this is yeah, it's English. Catherine Deneuve, she's isolated in her apartment, and she's suffering from delusions and seeing things and slowly going mad, and you actually see what she sees, you know, maybe not necessarily, you know, first person through her eyes, but because you see her, but then you're kind of seeing it from an outside perspective, but yet still as if you're right alongside with her, Catherine Deneuve, and seeing how she's seeing it, cracks into walls and just all sorts of, you know, crazy shit happening. I think there's a scene where she goes down the hall in her apartment, and the hands kind of come out and like grabbing her, unless I'm mistaking that for Day of the Dead, but I don't think so. I think it happens here. So Repulsion, that's a very good one, and I would recommend that one as well. Another Byron Haskin film, Robinson Crusoe on Mars. Little, I guess you can call it a cameo, a very minor role by Adam West in this one. Yeah, basically it follows the story of Robinson Crusoe, but just on Mars. It's quite good, and you can see like an early, I guess, concept of the alien ships. You know, like how it doesn't look the same, but you know, like in War of the Worlds, when it's kind of flying overhead. Now this one is just odd that it's in this kind of a case, but The Curious Case of Benjamin Button's Cate Blanchett, Brad Pitt, Tilda Swinton is in here for, you know, a certain era in the film. It's about Benjamin Button's played by Brad Pitt, and how he's growing from old to young. He's getting younger. There comes a point where when they meet somewhere in the middle and they can romance each other. I like that one. A very sad story too. Eyes Without a Face, French film. This is good. There's this doctor trying to perform surgery on his wife, and she has this mask, and the mask is, it's just a mask, so you can't see the emotions or anything like that, the facial expressions on her face, except for the eyes, and there's something kind of eerie about that. And the doctor, he's trying to find like the perfect match to do the skin graft and stuff like that to repair his wife's face, and it's not an easy task. So this one I can recommend as well. The surgery in there, when you see it, you know, this is was it 60s, 1960s, so pretty well done how they showed that, and somewhat graphic. This one's a David Cronenberg film, Videodrome. It has Deborah Harry in this one, who's Blondie. We have James Woods in this one, and it's almost like a Manchurian Candidate kind of thing, where it kind of brainwashes you when you watch a certain channel. James Woods is trying to uncover that station, you know, trying to get back to that channel. This is a good one, so it's just one to see, very trippy as well. So, okay, so I'm going to move on. Oh, The Night of the Hunter. This one stars Robert Mitchum. This one has Shelley Winters. And this one is famous for, you know, Robert Mitchum. He plays Harry Powell, and he has tattooed on his fingers, you know, love and hate. And he basically, he learns of, you know, Harry Powell, you know, Robert Mitchum, he learns of this money cache hidden away somewhere with his family. So he, I think Harry Powell, I think he kills him, and he either was released or he broke out of prison, and he got close to the family and to the little girl, you know, Pearl, and the boy, Shelley Winters, which is the mother, and he's just hanging around them, and in fact marries Shelley Winters. You know, just does whatever he can to get close to them. Also, he can learn where that money is, because he like I said, you know, the husband kind of let that slip when talking about it, but didn't say exactly where, just that it's with his family. Okay, let me pause this for a second because I'm going to put this back. Okay, I have another Chaplin film. Well, let me do this one first. This is a Lars von Trier film, Antichrist. Willem Dafoe and Charlotte Gainsborough. This one is not for everyone's taste. I liked it, but it's very lot of crazy imagery, trippy, and quite sadistic. Charlotte Gainsborough is addicted to sex. I think maybe they both are, but she's, you know, Charlotte Gainsborough is even more addicted. And when they go to this some tragedy befalls them, I'll say that. And it is because of the sex addiction, something, they neglected something. So they go to this cabin, and basically the whole thing is, how can I put this? Well, I guess I can just say that, you know, Charlotte Gainsborough is using Willem Dafoe almost like a sex toy, you know. Every chance she gets, even when he doesn't want it, and does things to keep him there. Pretty brutal things, I'll say. But, you know, it's a sick film, but I like it. Lars von Trier, and he's known for sick shit, so be prepared for that. And then we have a Chaplin film, Modern Times. This is quite excellent, and this one I highly recommend. One of my favorite Chaplin films, but I think Gold Rush might still be... No. Yeah, I actually might have a new favorite, but I'll talk about that one later. I'll just say it's The Kid, but I don't have that one. But Modern Times, it's very good. So yeah, I recommend this one. It's, you know, he's working in some factory and like being mistreated, you know. Here, how can I word this? Employee, he becomes smitten with a gorgeous Gemein with his barrage of unforgettable gags. It's like, oh, it's hard to explain the plot, but I saw this. I saw it together with Sean, and I can't describe it. You know, just some funny bits where he gets caught up in the machine, and you kind of see a you know, like a side reel thing of him going through the machine, through all the gears, you know, things like that. Yeah. Okay. Another Chaplin one. City Lights. And this one, I'll show the number here because how appropriate is this? 666 is the spine number. I don't know if it's probably not gonna focus. Shit. Okay. Yeah, well, take my word for it. Yeah, there you go. You kind of saw it. 666. The Devil's Backbone. This is a Guillermo del Toro film. Quite good. I think these are Nazis, but maybe they're not Nazis, but they're like equivalent to Nazis, and it's a Spanish Civil War, so I can't remember. I mean, when I saw this, it made me just think Nazis, but they're like an equivalent of Nazis, and they do experiments on kids. And there's like a boy haunting this kind of like concentration camp, and I really want to say they're Nazis, but Spanish Nazis or something. I don't know, not Spanish Nazis, but they're doing experiments on the people there, and well, the kids in particular, like injecting their eyes, to turn their eyes blue. If it's any other color but blue, they would try to turn it blue, and it causes blindness or even death. And there's a spirit of a boy haunting this place. And this is an eerie one, and quite a good one too, with Guillermo del Toro's signature touch to it. Here we have Monsieur Verdeau, another Chaplin film. Okay. And The Man Who Knew Too Much. This is a Peter Lorre film, Alfred Hitchcock. Okay, I want to try to move this along. Okay, we're starting to get down to it. This one's another Roman Polanski film, Rosemary's Baby, starring Mia Farrow, Cassavetes. I get confused between Nick Cassavetes and the other one, John Cassavetes. John Cassavetes. Ruth Gordon, who won an Academy Award for her role as a nosy neighbor in here. Who doesn't know the story of Rosemary's Baby? I think they even did a remake of that. I'd like to see it, just because I'm kind of curious. But in this one, the neighbors, Ruth Gordon and the husband, they're Satan worshippers, and like witches and Satan worshippers, maybe, and Rosemary is, played by Mia Farrow's, kind of getting the feeling, that they're living next door to them, and she starts, forming conspiracy theories. But the thing is that these conspiracy theories end up to be true. But the husband, played by John Cassavetes, doesn't believe her. There's a reason why, behind that. Even what was the doctor's name? I can't remember the doctor's name. The doctor even gives her tannis root, but I forgot the doctor's name, because she goes to another doctor, and when she drops his name to him, he's familiar with the name, but he still doesn't believe her, and instead of listening to her, he tells on her, and they get her. But this one is a very atmospheric one, and I like it a lot. So I do recommend it. It's a good slow burn horror film. Not one that has the jump scares or really a lot of gore. There might be some intense scenes, but nothing super gory. It's more of the atmosphere, the story, and all them witches, right? Eating Raoul. This is a good one. This is a Paul Bartel film. Mary Warnov is also in here. They're a couple, and they live in this apartment, and I think they live around a bunch of swingers in there. And it's been a while since I've seen it, but I think like they accidentally kill someone. Yeah. And Raoul, they enlist the help of Raoul, played by Robert Beltram from Star Trek. Yeah, Robert Beltram from Star Trek Voyager. He was also in Night of the Comet. Those are the more notable ones that I'm familiar with him from. And he has a method of cannibalism, and there's a reason why it's called Eating Raoul. So I'm just gonna, I think you can tell, but just by the name. But yeah, this is a good one. Eating Raoul. A fun little fact about this. This one and Night of the Comet. You know, when you watch the features on the Night of the Comet, there was a role in Night of the Comet for one of the government agents, female, and they were trying to find an actress to fill that role. And this was around the time when he just got off, Paul Beltram just got off of Eating Raoul, and he recommended Mary Warnov for that role. So that's how she got into that picture for that little bit. Oh, another one of my favorite Chaplin films here. We have The Gold Rush. It's this one and The Kid, 1921, which also stars a young Jackie Cogan in that one. It's hard to believe, but you know, Jackie Cogan, he is Uncle Fester in the old 60s black and white, 50s or 60s, I think 60s maybe, Addams Family. Gold Rush. This was, you know, about, you know, the Gold Rush craze, and Chaplin, he's, you know, he wants in on this. Famous bits like the shoe eating, you know, bit was quite good. You know, the cabin owned by the killer. He meets this girl in a tavern, and it's quite a very lovely, touching love story. And, you know, at first, you know, the girl and her friends decide to play a trick on him because he thinks he's going to have a dinner date, you know, with him. And, you know, things end up in his favor. It's quite nice. I highly, highly recommend Gold Rush. Anatomy of a Murder. I don't know much about this. Is this James Stewart? I'm not too sure. No, Lee. Ben Gazzar is in here. Okay, and Lee Remick, and a young George C. Scott. That's right. But, you know, it's a courtroom film, and a good companion to 12 Angry Men, I would say. Okay, so a little bit more to go. Okay, yeah. I wanted to say too, Ben Gazzara, if you've seen Roadhouse, it was Brad Wesley. Well, pick him up. It's one of the lines that cracks me up. But yeah, Ben Gazzara, if you've seen Roadhouse, he's in that. Okay, so here, of course, you know, we have the first original Godzilla, black and white. Kiss Me Deadly. This is Hammer, what's his name? Mickey Spillane's Robert Aldrich, Mike Hammer. He's a private dick. Is this Cloris Leachman? And Cloris Leachman is in here too, but a very minor role. And this is another film noir with a little twist, I'll say, to it, which kind of, because of that, not really a twist, but a little surprise in here, that because of that surprise, it kind of brings in another kind of genre into this film. But he's a detective, and he's trying to uncover, you know, this whole mystery behind this lockbox and why people would kill for it. Va-va-va-va-voom. Okay. If you've seen the film, you'll understand. It's not anything that's maybe typically like a memorable line or anything, but it was memorable to me, and probably if you've seen it, would be memorable to you too, for reasons unknown. Va-va-va-voom. Okay. Something Wild. This one is a Demme, yeah, Jonathan Demme. We have Jeff Daniels in this one, and Ray Liotta, I believe, is also in here, and yeah, Melanie Griffith. This one is almost, this film is, you know, you can kind of divide it twofolds. You know, the first half is more of like romantic comedy, and it gets violent, you know, nearing that last half of it, or getting near the end. And that is all I'll say. It's a romance film. Very nice. Been a while since I've seen it though, so I can't quite. Downtown New York. Her offer of a ride back to his office results in a lunchtime. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's like a lunch ride that he didn't know what he was getting himself into. Jeff Daniels. But yeah, Jonathan Demme film. I've seen it like one time, long time ago. And then this one is one I haven't seen, but Sweet Smell of Success, and yeah, Burt Lancaster is in that. Tony Curtis is in this. And I think that might be all, but I think I might have a few lingering about that just won't fit on the shelf. So give me a moment. Okay, before I show my last two, I thought I have more. I really think I have a few more lingering about. I can't. If I do, it's just maybe 2 or 3. But possibly I got them all. I don't know if I mentioned which ones I recommended, but I recommend them all. But I mean, if you were to just get like a small handful of them for this sale from that batch, something wild I could recommend, and Kiss Me Deadly. I can't remember if I give my recommendations on the ones to really get. Rosemary's Baby, also very good, and Eating Raoul is very good as well. Okay, so this next one I haven't seen, but I heard this is possibly out of print or very hard to get. I think it's a Terry Gilliam film, and I liked Time Bandits, Fear and Loathing. I can't remember what other ones. It escapes me now, but I haven't seen Jabberwocky. And this was kindly gifted to me from my very, very good friend, Todd E. Walnuts. So, I'm giving a shout out to my very good friend Todd. Please, subscribe to him if you're not already. His movie channel is Todd E. Walnuts, but his sister channel is a gaming channel called Surviving the Horror, and I feel that that channel needs just as much love. But about a year and a half ago, he's sent me a bunch of great stuff, and this was one of them, Jabberwocky. So I can't say much about it, but I think the cover does look badass. I mean, look at that. And I'm sure that if it's a Terry Gilliam film, much like Time Bandits or like the Monty Python stuff, it's gonna, I think it did the Monty Python stuff, but it's gonna have that British humor to it. And I can't believe I almost neglected my Bruce Lee set, with Fist of Fury, which was formerly known as, or I guess the Chinese title is The Big Boss. And then we have the Chinese connection, which I think was known as Fist of Fury. And then we have Return of the Dragon with Chuck Norris in that one. And then Enter the Dragon, I think, is part of this set. And then Game of Death, which Bruce Lee was only in the last 20 minutes of that one. But yeah, I even have the whole Scream Factory ones of this. But maybe I'll do when I'm able to access my Scream Factory, which is way back there. I have to make it more accessible. Then I'll do a showcase of those, my Scream Factory, Shout Factory. Now those ones I have a lot of, way more than my Criterion, which I don't think I really have a lot. But for example, yeah, see, this is the Shout Select of Return of the Dragon, and I have them all. So now the ones I would like to get for this sale, if I was to only, I may still end up getting at least 1 or 2, but ones I would like to get, well, first of all, I would love to get the coveted The Third Man, which is an Orson Welles film. It's film noir. I have the Studio Canal edition of it, but I think the Criterion of that, which is out of print, they lost the rights to it, is much better. Not much, but a bit better quality. But I mean, there's so many ones I would like to get. You know, Pan's Labyrinth, The Red Shoes, Time Bandits. But the ones, if I was to pick ones from this sale right now in November, would be The Kid, with starring Charlie Chaplin and Jackie Cogan, 1921. Possibly Mulholland Drive. Citizen Kane, I would like to get. Night of the Living Dead, the original Romero one. Yeah, those would probably be my immediate picks. And Pan's Labyrinth, why not? But I think out of those, yeah, it would be like The Kid and Time Bandits and Citizen Kane. That is it, guys. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you. And if you like, let me know what Criterions you intend to pick up. And see you on the next one.